Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales, dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah, Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called the Chapter 412. What you're gonna need to make a Chapter 412 is 1 part Chambord, 1 part gin, 1 part lemon juice, and 2 parts pink grapefruit juice. I'm using a sparkling pink grapefruit juice, but you can always use a regular true juice. I just love the bubbles. And you'll wanna have some sage leaves for garnish. I couldn't find any, so we will just use our vivid imaginations. So what you're gonna need to do is take a shaker and fill it with ice, which I've already done. And then we're gonna start pouring in our ingredients. So we're gonna add in 1 part Chambord. This is just such an odd shaped bottle. I always get nervous I'm gonna really drop the whole thing. Okay, 1 part of that. Then we're gonna have 1 part gin. Should be 2 parts. Okay, and then we'll add in 1 part of the lemon juice. Since I'm using a sparkling pink grapefruit juice, we're not gonna add it in just yet, but if you do choose to use a regular pink grapefruit juice, then you can mix everything together before you strain it into the glass. Okay, that's the lemon juice. All right, so now we're gonna shake this up really well so it gets nice and cold. Whew. That was a workout. All right, there's no ice in this drink, so you wanna make sure you shake it really, really well. So now we're going to strain these ingredients into a coupe glass or a martini glass. We are going to top it off with the sparkling pink grapefruit juice. I'm gonna give it a little stir just to make sure it's nice and combined. And I'm gonna garnish it with an imaginary sage leaf. Don't you see it? It's beautiful. Anyways, this is a Chapter 412. Cheers. Cheers, everybody, and welcome back to CockTales Dirty Discussions. I'm Kiki Said So.
Hey, y'all. I'm Medinah Monroe.
And this week, we have a special guest joining us. We have ATL native and comedian, Miss Brittany Dent. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hi. I always love when we have comedians on.
Listen, we love to talk, so.
Y'all make it much easier. So many stories.
Yes.
How have you been?
I've been great. I'm really excited to do this. How have you been?
I've been good. It's just really hot. I feel like I'm going through the change.
Listen, don't talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm cramping at the same time. So thank God I have this gin right here in my cup. I hope y'all do try these cocktails. This one's really pretty tasty.
It's really tasty. And I don't even like grapefruit juice, and I like this drink. So, you know, sometimes we like the drink, sometimes we don't. This one is a good one.
And I did not test it out. So,
I'm picking up Chambord and Prosecco on the way home because this is incredible. I love it so much.
What is your go-to drink that you order when you're out?
Tequila soda with a splash of pineapple.
A healthy girl.
Or I'm a beer girl sometimes as well. I'm trying to be less of a beer girl, but
I've never gotten into it.
No.
Have you?
Okay, so listen, I'm not a beer girl, but I want to be a beer girl. And so when I'm in certain areas, like I'll get a beer and everyone always looks at me crazy. I went to an Atlanta United game. It was date night. Have you been to an Atlanta United game?
I have not. I want to go.
It's such a good time, and make sure you get the seats where you have access to one of the lounges or all of them.
I've been to some soccer games, but not Atlanta United. I've got to go.
So it's such a time. And so when I was there, me and my man are at the bar and he's ordering a nice little liquor drink. And I was like, I'm going to get a Blue Moon. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, we're at a soccer
That's a girly
game.
enough one though.
It still tastes like
Stella.
pee.
It does. I'm trying to figure out, why do you want to do this though?
It took me the whole game to finish the drink.
Oh, no.
Damn. Are you trying to learn to pace yourself or something?
Yeah, right. I didn't guzzle that.
See, I drink beer like I was born in a brewery. It's an issue. I really have to stop. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, you gotta chill. So
when did you start drinking so much beer?
I started drinking beer really after college because when you're in college, drinking beer is a punishment. And then I worked at a restaurant I will not give them the satisfaction of any sort of a plug, but they had all these different kind of beers. So I had to learn about beers. And then I learned there's different kinds of beer. So then you find the kind of beer that you actually like, and then you drink that instead.
So what do you like?
I currently am a Tropicalia gal. I have gotten...
That sounds fancy.
That sounds like one you pour in an icy
Warren
glass.
Is giving the head nod like, okay, she know a little something.
Tropicalia, it's like a hazy IPA, which is a very like...
Sounds like a cocktail.
Kind of. I mean, it's certainly a beer, and it's an IPA, which those tend to be a little bit bitter, but it has a little bit of like orange and grapefruit in it as well. There's a lot of those like, they call them like POG beers, like passion fruit, orange and guava or grapefruit or something like that. So there's a little bit of fruit in it, but it's not like super sweet. But it definitely still tastes like beer. So you have to find the right one that like, there's so many different kinds from different countries and everything. So
you really know.
We had that guest one time. This was many, many years ago. And he worked at a spot in Little 5 Points. And he told us to come. I went because he was
the hookah Middle Eastern dude, or he was Spanish or something.
I don't know, other. So he invited me to this place, and he's really trying to convince me to like beer. I was like, failed mission, but they got alcohol, so we gonna get the job done, honey.
And we did the flight of beer.
Did we do a flight?
Remember we did a flight?
And I think we did a flight, and then we're just trying different stuff. I hated all of them pretty much, I think, but I could tell some were stronger than others. So I'm like, I see this one will get you there. Yeah. The closest I can do to beer is Angry Orchard, the rosé cider, and that is not beer, but that's what I can do.
It tastes great though. That's the thing. That's what about. I mean, honestly, it's like you're drinking, so you should enjoy it.
This sounds like we need to do a Patreon episode where we just taste all the beers. We pour them in little cute glasses and we taste them, and then we talk about them or we spit them out.
Okay.
Speaking of Patreon, before we get into today's episode, we would love for you guys to go to patreon.com/CockTales. Join our Patreon community. We do monthly lives to catch up with our listeners, our community that we're really close with. We have different tiers, so on all different types of content. It's not just episodes. Sometimes it might be Kiki trying something. Sometimes it might be Kiki getting ready. Her get ready with me videos are really fun to watch. Nice and lengthy and detailed.
We're gonna. If I'm sitting here, it's gonna take me 2 hours to get ready. I'm gonna turn this camera on, and we're gonna get fucking to it. Okay, I got one I need to post now. I gotta wait.
Well, you look great, so I mean,
thank you. I didn't record it today though. I was determined to not be late. I have a time problem, and I'm consciously working on it, and that's another reason I'm sweating like a Hebrew slave. Anyway, does anybody have any announcements or anything they want to make sure that they share?
I want to make sure that I share. I want to shout out somebody.
Okay.
I collaborated with a young girl named Cheyenne that I went to school with. Shout out to Clark, Atlanta. And I hadn't talked to her in forever. Honestly, I didn't know where I remembered her from. You know when you see when somebody's talking to you on social media and you're like, I know you and I feel good about you, but I don't necessarily know where I know you from. And then you don't want to ask because they're really talking like we. Anyways, we connected. She was like, could you help me get people to my Yoga and Mimosas event? And so I collaborated with her. It was this past weekend and it was such a good time. We did yoga, we had mimosas. And then there was a panel discussion with 4 men and a therapist. And it was about Black men and mental health. And the way that they started the whole conversation was the therapist stood up and she was like, hey, listen, you guys, this is not going to be one of those conversations that you see on social media where we're going back and forth about who's paying for what. We're not asking them what they do for a living. I mean, she really set the tone. Yeah, she was like, she really did say that. She was like, say that for social media and podcasts. This is like a real discussion to just hear men out on whatever it is that the topics were. It was just a beautifully put together event. And I felt on my heart to just shout them out because people were in the comments on one of our most recent clips. And the men were like, y'all don't never shout men. Y'all never talk good about me. And I literally was like, sir, I'm hosting an event for Black men's mental health.
Literally hosting it right now.
Why don't you get a ticket?
And you know what? Why do we have to?
This is my platform.
Yeah, we can talk about what we want to talk about. There's other places like the world where you guys get so many accolades and opportunities and love.
Yeah. So shout out to Happy Vibes brand. Shout out to Cheyenne and shout out to people that are putting on events like that because it was beautiful.
That sounds like a great event.
It was amazing.
That does sound beautiful. I want to remind everybody to make sure that you click the link in the description box or just go to kikisaidso.com so you can sign up to go on this trip with me. I cannot wait. You'll have to pay attention to social media. I won't bore you with the details now, but click the link in the description box and you can see all the deets. We're going to have a blast.
make sure y'all sign up for our newsletter. I'm just realizing that a lot of people don't know we have a CockTales newsletter. We send it out weekly, every Friday. You get updates, you get links to what we have going on. Make sure you guys join. I'm thinking you join at I'mCuriousToKnow.com.
Yeah, if you go to the website, there's also a link on our social media. There's a link in here. So if you go to our link tree, there is an option for you to sign up. You can get text messages, you can get emails. We are not going to spam you. It's useful information. And you never know. We might have something going on that we can't get to the studio to record, and it's in there. And if you snooze, you lose. Okay, so Brittany, okay, so I went to Catherine's show. Remember after Catherine and Lace came on the show?
Yes.
And then I went to Laughing School, but we went on different days.
Yes.
So she was there. And that was a good time. I enjoyed the show. And then she also hosts a podcast that's on hiatus because her co-host had a baby recently, right? Congrats.
Yeah.
Tell me the name of it again. Down and
Nappy. And it's a Downton Abbey podcast. Yeah, it's a Black Girl's Guide to Downton Abbey. So it's just me and two of my other comedy friends who host the podcast. We rewatch the episodes and we gossip about it like we're involved.
Like Lady Whistle Down on Bridgerton.
Yes,
I've
literally,
never watched that show.
Really?
Ever.
It's funny.
It is great. Downton Abbey is a great show. And it's so funny because people are like, why are Black girls watching Downton? But the podcast actually started because we were already like I had already seen it so many times. Carlette had already seen it. And then Jasmine had seen part of it, but she had just gotten started. And so then she was like, oh my God. And so she just wanted somebody to chat with about the show. And then we're talking about it and cracking ourselves up. And I was like, you guys, we should do a podcast. Because anytime we got together, we would just start talking about it and cracking ourselves up.
And were you saying Downtown Abbey or Downton?
Downton.
Downton.
Yes.
That's how you say it.
There's no extra W to make it town. It is just Downton.
Downton.
Yeah. British people say things weird all the time. I don't know why they do it, but you know, I still don't know what Downton. It's just what they named the house, I guess. Doesn't have any references to anything else.
This isn't that show, but on Game of Thrones, well, House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, I really love how they say on the morrow.
Yes.
Like, and they mean tomorrow. Like, I've been saying that on the morrow.
And I like grandsire.
Grandsire.
It just sounds very fancy.
It does.
I love
lady.
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 Yes.
Okay, so how did you get into comedy?
I majored in theater in like college or whatever. And then I was doing a lot of community theater here in Atlanta. Then that turned into sketch and improv. And then I met a lot of stand-up comedians. And through that, and then that's how I met Lace Larrabee. And so she was on, like you said, on the Cheaties episode that y'all did, or when Cheaties did your episode. And, but yeah, so she was a friend of mine. I thought she was a hilarious comedian. And, she tells the story all the time. She was like tired of being the only woman on a lineup. So she started an all-female comedy class. And it was like, if I'm ever going to take a stand-up class, I'm going to take it from her. I wouldn't trust anybody else. And then I did, and I got hooked. But I already like grew up watching stand-up a lot. Like I used to love stand-up, but I just always thought it was something that I couldn't do. So I'm glad I took the class because I took a chance on myself and did it. And now it's taken over my life, but I love it so much. I'm like so excited.
How long has
to keep
it been?
doing it. 7 years.
Woo!
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever had moments where you're like, man, fuck this, I'm about to quit. This is hard.
Every single day. Absolutely.
Why?
Every day. A lot of it's just internal. It's a lot of stress and like overanalyzing that I do on myself and that the whole world does on you, and just, it's just part of it. But ultimately, I do love it. That's why I always see, like, anytime somebody is like, man, I really don't want to do this. I'm like, if you don't want to do this, you shouldn't, because most of it is going to be a lot of like self-doubt, and then like the audience isn't messing with you, or like whatever, you're not having a great time. If you're having a terrible day, you still got to go be funny at 8 o'clock somewhere. Sometimes you're just not feeling that. But at the end of the day, there's nothing better.
Do you have a favorite type of audience to perform in front of? Like, because there's the Vortex or Laughing Skull, and then there's Trap City Cafe.
Yeah.
And it's two totally different types of audiences.
It depends on what I'm doing. Because if I'm trying new jokes, I want to perform in front of people who aren't really expecting me to be that funny, because I want to see where these jokes are going to go. Like, can I get them? Is there something here? You know what I mean? I really like sometimes getting in front of an audience who's just like, man, let's see. You know what I mean? Because if you win them over, then that's just a rush. Like, fuck yeah, I did.
I did that shit.
So that's great. I just hate anyone that I don't like it when people are like, well, you can't make me laugh. Because I'm like, then why did you come here?
Do you not want to laugh at the comedy show?
Some people, it's their only chance to act like they're like an emperor in like ancient Rome or something.
And it's like, the show was free, nigga.
Right. Like, are you trying to have fun or not? Like, what's going on?
Did you come out to be a grump? What's
you
up?
always see some dude just in the front row, and you're like, what was this? Who was this for? And then the girl sitting next to him, I'm like, I hope you free yourself, because that's just not. Imagine trying to go out and then your man is just like, like it's not cute.
Oscar the Grouch.
Listen, not into it. So those are my least favorite people in audiences, is people who are like, I'm funnier than that. I'm like, okay, then get up here.
Do it. It's a lot different being on a stage. I can only imagine.
A whole lot different.
Yes.
Yes. So.
Please. Okay, so we're going to play a quick game of I'm Curious to Know. It's our discussion card game that we created.
Terrifying.
And we have a bunch of different questions. Some of them are like really in your business, like do you prefer eating ass or sucking toes? And then some of them are more getting to know you on a deeper level. Like, what's your relationship like with your parents? And so ideally you'll play it if you're on a date, whether it's a first date or somebody you've been seeing, but you can mix it up and skip the cards when you're just playing with your girlfriends that say, do you want to end the game and have sex right now? Unless that's kind of homegirls you got.
I mean, listen, what type of party we having? So
okay. You want to go first?
I'll go first. Brittany, I'm curious to know, do you like to talk during sex?
Yes. Yeah. I think I'm a little too mouthy during sex. I don't know. I just want to, I like talking for sure. Yeah. I definitely can be on the noisy side.
Are you saying if things are being sentences done, or are you just saying a couple of words?
I mean, it depends on what's going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I definitely like a let me see your eyes moment. Like, I like all that kind of stuff. But I'm not just being like, one time we went to the store, like some bullshit. But I definitely, I don't know. I don't want to be quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like quiet sex is weird.
Mm-hmm. I find myself repeating I have a script. I do.
Oh,
it's all fitting. It's all fitting. But like, and it's true, but I just got to keep it, because my mind will start being like, and I will be like, oh shit, I don't know. What should I say? And now it's weird. So I always will say, do you feel that?
Yeah. Well, I also I feel like sometimes I say things to stop me from getting in my own head. So sometimes I'll just say something out loud so I don't stay in here
like
too much.
Words or moans?
Yeah, like whatever. Just like whatever I'm feeling in the moment, I like that. I want you to do that. Whatever. Do you like that? I would rather say it out loud than just be thinking it in my head, because then I'll just get trapped in here. You don't want that.
Yeah. It's very tricky and easy to do, getting trapped in your own head during sex, even though you're not masturbating, there's another person.
Right.
All right. Has a significant other ever made you mad enough to damage their property?
Ooh.
And if so, please share the story. Even if it was 20 years ago.
See, I think that I have a rage issue.
Uh-oh.
I do think I have a rage issue.
I wasn't expecting that.
But I think that I know that I have a rage issue to the point where I'll prevent it. So frequently, like if somebody really pisses me off, I'll laugh at them. And I don't know, I think that's me protecting from the because I'll go cuckoo banunu in here. I have not destroyed anybody's property, because usually what ends up happening is if you piss me off too much, I will just laugh in your face and then walk away.
Oh, that's good. You have good self-control then.
I maybe have a little too much self-control, but yes, I do. And I am also, I'll destroy our relationship before I destroy any of your property. I don't have time. I'll just forget I ever met you.
You're just like, fuck all this shit.
How mature.
Is it?
It is.
You're right. I mean, I guess so. But
because I just saw a video on Instagram, and I don't know what happened, but there were 3 cars in a parking lot that were all severely damaged. It looked like they had been burned up, and maybe some people ran into it or something. And the guy who's recording the video and putting it up on Instagram was like, I don't know who pissed Shawty off, but something tells me that it's her man's car and his friends who helped him cover up the lie that wasn't a good lie. And I was like, you know what? I like that story. Just watching this, that seems fitting.
I enjoy watching that. I can't see myself ever it's not even that I can't see myself doing it. I can't see myself letting me get to that point.
Yeah. And then jail.
Because then there's jail. That's the thing, is I always know that there's consequences, and jail is just right there. I'm also not going to pay. If I hate you so much, I'm going to mess up your car. I'm not going to pay for it to look nice. That's fucked up. You're not taking none of my money. You've already wasted my time. So
yeah, that's wild. Okay, here's my last one. I'm curious to know, how often do you masturbate?
Oh God, Jesus Christ. Whew. Yeah, I don't know what's happening recently, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is.
What's a lot? Like every day?
I would say at least every day.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Getting those juices flowing.
How long
Let me tell
do you
something.
do it for?
Until we gotta go night-night. For sure. I don't know. And I didn't used to, like, it used to be like once a week for like 2 hours or something. But then it just became like, I would say every day for maybe like, I know, it was crazy. And then I would just be like done for the whole week. But then like,
I bet.
You know what I mean?
2 hours? That's
I know.
a long
I feel like
time.
I have a crazy sex drive. I really do. I don't know why. But I do feel like I have a really crazy sex drive. But I think like probably now, I would say today, these days, it'd be like probably like every day for like 20 to 30 minutes.
Ooh.
It's a lot still, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
Should I call a doctor? That's crazy.
Maybe.
I mean, but if you enjoy it,
I have a crazy sex drive. I admit that. I know.
I just think 20 minutes is a long time solo. Because I think I would get there quicker. That's what I like about masturbating.
Are you using your hand or a toy? Because if you're using your fingers, you might.
Well, you might be there for
you're
2
doing it
hours.
the
I could see
vintage
that.
way.
Well, yeah, no. We're not old school up in here. We got we have the equipment for sure. But I'm also not just coming one time. Like I don't have time for that. We gotta, come on.
Okay, so multiple rounds. All right. Well, that's it for I'm Curious to Know. If you guys are interested in ordering, please head on over to I'mCuriousToKnow.com. We're going to move on to weird sex, and then we will get back to Brittany Dent.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
So this week's Weird Sex, I just have a short story. Remember when I told the story about the man at Whole Foods who ejaculated on the woman's back?
That really
And I was like, you got to watch it. That happened right here in Atlanta.
What?
At the Buckhead
Girl, and
Whole
he
Foods.
ran off.
At Whole Foods?
They
Whole
caught
Foods.
him. Well, guess
That
what?
is Food Depot behavior. Whole Foods is crazy.
Yeah. Now, so with you saying that, this next story might not be so surprising. So in Philadelphia, at the Dollar Tree,
There we go.
this man did the same thing there. He ejaculated on this woman's arm or leg or something, and then had a shirt on. They see him on the security footage. He's still at large. Nobody knows. Well, nobody knows. I guess his team no snitch, but the man is out there. Nobody has caught him. He had on a t-shirt that said, "It's not going to lick itself." And I'm just like, you just put on your little costume to go out and be a menace to the Dollar Tree society. Like, people are already upset that things cost more than $1 in Dollar Tree. And you go in there and you're nutting on people's arms and stuff.
That is small and squinched and high. Like, I mean, like,
and everything is small in Philly.
Yeah, and the aisles are really close together. So he probably really got a good aim.
Also, the lighting is terrible at Dollar Tree. What
And
is
it's
turning you on
messy.
so much at Dollar
And
Tree?
it has a specific smell of like plastic and
Always.
chemicals.
And there's children running around.
And
It's
meat
a
in
lot
the back.
going on.
It's yeah, I don't understand what's making you so horny at Dollar Tree. That's
I don't
crazy.
Either. What is it? I think he must have saw the Whole Foods thing. And it's like, Whole Foods is way too far away. I got a Dollar Tree right here, and I need to go in there and get some snacks.
Yeah.
And what's making me nervous about these stories is it's starting to happen. After you shared the first weird sex about it, I got on Instagram and saw that it had happened. It wasn't the Dollar Tree, it was at a different store, and the lady caught the man running away. I mean, I was really just do people think this is funny? I would be pissed if I turned around and if somebody's come on my elbow.
That's so crazy.
My bare skinned, like
I don't like when somebody has a wet palm from like sweat just being a little clammy from nerves.
You
Should I
shake
tell
your hand
you,
and you're like, oh, this is mushy. Why does it feel?
People hate me all the time because I don't shake hands. I host an open mic and I don't shake hands with all the people because a lot of times their hands are wet and it really drives me nuts. So I just fist bump people and people get real mad because they'll be like, And I'm like,
No,
I don't know where
I've
that
said
hand
no.
has
I've
been.
absolutely said no. Also, people do not wash their hands or they don't wash them for long
nasty.
enough. I'm sorry. You can get mad at me. It's all right. You can
We
call me a
talked
bitch.
about
It's not going to be the
we
first
talked about
time.
little nasty wet hands one time previously on the show, and there were people
so
like,
gross.
it's a condition.
I
don't
understand
care.
that.
I didn't want to
Stop putting your conditioned hand out for people.
hand.
Which
Like-
is why I'm trying to protect myself. I also have a condition, and my conditions, I don't want to feel your wet hands. So
Okay.
that's what I'm protecting myself. You do what you got to do.
Oh, them little
Wait,
wet hands.
Can you
sorry.
imagine like somebody jizzing on your arm, just like if nobody's happy at the Dollar Tree. Nobody went to the Dollar Tree because it's their like favorite
Ooh,
place.
glorious
Well,
shopping
when I
I'm
stop
already
in the Dollar Tree every now and
stressed.
again, I do be smiling and talking to the people, but I can get there real quick to get a little napkin or something.
I hate it.
Poster
Every time I go
board.
in there, it makes me
Mhm.
mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad every time. I'm mad. I'll pay the extra to just order it online. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to.
Anyway, thank you guys for sending in that weird sex story. Keep your bodily fluids
Please.
to yourselves or consenting adults, not animals,
Yes.
children, trees. I feel like you gotta be real specific with the way that the world is going now.
We
Like
need to bring back chastity belts.
we need to
start
bring back
locking up.
shame. Is
Well,
what we
that
need
as
to
well.
bring.
That especially.
We do need a little shame. It's getting too unshameful. Yeah, we need some people need to feel shame.
Feel a little bit. Feel enough so that you can be like not a monster. That'd be
Mhm.
nice.
Mm-hmm, real nice. Anyway, keep sending me those stories. Really appreciate it. DM them, email them. Doesn't matter. Just send them my way.
Soaking wet from VB Health is specifically for vaginal wetness, a probiotic for your pussy. Oh, don't that sound nice? It sounds healthy. It is healthy. And if you don't have a super soaker, now you can. Like, you need that for sex. Like, imagine your pussy just getting wet from your own juices. Like, you're not even aroused. Like, you pop your little pills and you're ready to go.
Mm-hmm. That could be a great thing. It could also be dangerous. So y'all stay safe in these streets. But I do think it's really cool.
I love a good probiotic, like literally all of them. I drink my kombucha, but that's for gut health.
You've got to take your supplements to make sure that everything is in perfect working order. VB Health has a simple mission to create supplements that work. And that's what's most important. So for our listeners, they have delivered a very special offer. If you visit soakingwet.com and use code CockTales, CockTales, you will get 10% off, or just click the link in the description box below. It will take you to the website and you can get that discount. All right, Brittany, now back to you.
Oh,
so let's
God.
get in more of your business. We've gotten the career stuff out of the way. Make
Yes.
sure everybody knows what you do. So are you single, in a relationship, married? What's tea?
I am single.
Uh-huh.
I am not actively looking, but also I'm not sending nobody away. So like if
Uh-huh.
you have a resume, you can drop it off, but we'll see.
Where can they drop it off?
But we're not hiring, okay? I don't know. I say that, please don't DM me. It makes me upset. That's what the problem is. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm shopping, window
Mhm.
shopping.
Where do you
Call it
shop
that.
at?
The problem is that's the thing is I'm not active enough about it. That's why I can't
Okay.
complain about being single, is because I'm really not out here looking.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like if I meet somebody that I'm like, oh, that's a different story, but that happens so infrequently.
When's the last time you met somebody where you were like, okay,
A few
maybe?
months ago, for sure. Yeah.
Where'd y'all
but,
meet? Or what kind of place
a
was it?
show. That's the other thing is I don't ever go nowhere. I'll be at my house and I'll be here at work. And those are the only two, because like my
You
work
sound
is,
like me.
I know, and my work is stand-up comedy. So sometimes you'll meet somebody that's not weird at a stand-up comedy show.
Have you
But I
ever
wouldn't count on it. So.
have you ever dated another comic? Or would you?
That would be interesting.
Yeah, yes and no. I don't know, open to it, I guess, but it just would depend on the comic, because a lot of us, it's a weird thing to do. And a lot of us do it because we're not always okay.
Mhm.
So you got to be careful. But I'm not, some people are like, I would never date a comic. I won't say that,
Mhm.
because ultimately we do have a lot of things in common. So, and it's hard to date people who are, I think that I would do well with like a musician or like an improviser.
What kind of music? I was going to ask
Any
you, what
kind.
what type of guy would you like to end up with?
See, I've dated a wide spectrum, so I don't really have a type per se. But I definitely like somebody who is passionate about what they do.
Uh-huh.
And somebody who just is like, just don't be crazy. Like, I feel.
Have you dated crazy men?
I have tried to date crazy men, and then, but my tolerance for bullshit in that arena is just so low. So if I meet you and then I start thinking that you're crazy, I'm like, I got to stop talking to this person.
What do you think? 2 questions. What are some signs that somebody is crazy in your book?
There's so many. Okay, so there's a lot of men who date women, but also don't like women as people. That's a crazy person to me. Because you could just go be with the fellas if that's what you wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, why? But I've met people who they seem, I guess, interested in you physically, but then they're like, I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to, like they're just rude. Like, they're just rude, or like they have like you were saying earlier when you talk about the event, and it's like, y'all don't ever do it. And I'm like, why are you mad at something that I've never done to you? You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy person. That's a person who's got unresolved issues. They need to go work out.
And then they need to work out. And working out will help you a lot, even if you're not working out to lose weight, just your mental.
Please. And go talk to the lady. I feel like a lot of people aren't in therapy anymore. I would love it if you would just drive by like once a month. Just talk to somebody else.
You can do it from your phone.
You can do it from, you can text
if you're like, I don't want to look at people. And I
would
feel weird.
love for you to do that every once in a while, because a lot of people because people can convince themselves of anything. You know what I mean? We're really good at convincing ourselves that we're right. So you need to be able to like take a second.
Reflect.
Yeah. And YouTube videos are not enough.
Right. Second question. I saw this thread on Twitter and I absolutely loved it.
Oh my God.
The lady was talking about, somebody was talking about questions, because a lot of people were saying, I'm dating all these people and they just are crazy and I don't know until it's too late. And then the thread was, what are questions you could ask someone that you meet and you're on a date, you're going on a few dates with them to skip the whole, you actually have to witness they're crazy. What are some questions you think you could ask somebody that, would kind of get them riled up? I was like, how do you pronounce Salmon? How do you pronounce it? That'll tell me a lot about you.
Yes.
Another question is, I would bring up guns. Like, do you own guns, and see how they talk about that? Do you guys think you could have a question to kind of see, is this person going to be irate? Do they have an attitude problem? Are they unwell?
Why did you and your last partner break up?
That's a good one.
I think how you talk about that.
How do you talk about people that you aren't really in relationships with anymore? Like, do you hate this person? And if so, tell me why you hate them. Do you hate them because she would never do what I wanted her to do? Okay, that's telling me a lot of information I need to know. You know what I mean? Do you hate her because she like stole all your money and then fucked all your friends? Okay, well.
But even if it was that, I would be looking at the person like, how did we get, how she get access to all your money?
That's a good point. Why did you date a person that would do that? Yeah. So, but it'll give you a lot of information for sure. Why did y'all break up?
Definitely a lot of situational questions where it's like, how do you speak about other people and other situations? I might even bring up a news story or something. I love to plug in a news story. So it's like, it doesn't have to be so personal. So you can take your personal feelings out of it. Your ex-girlfriend isn't a part of this story, but this happened. What do you think of this?
Yes.
How do you think about how these people reacted or whatever, stuff like that, to see, do you think that this crazy motherfucker is just in what he did? And then also how you speak about your parents. Because I think that no matter what the actual relationship is, depending on how you speak about them, if you just have, like, you get all worked up in the moment, oh no, you might have a little rage issue too. And I'm going to have to swerve left because nope, can't do it.
I think I would also ask them about, I'm not a bringing up politics type of person at all, for real. I'm definitely going to vote. But I think I would just now, in today's day and age, I would ask like, oh, do you plan on voting? And see how they take it. Because if you take it too hard and too heavy, and now we're having a whole conversation about politics, I can't do this, baby boy. And then if you're like, I ain't voting because they no good option. Now it's like, oh.
And then now you're,
In
Do you
this
like to be
season,
loud and wrong?
Do you like to be loud and wrong?
Yes.
do you fact check? Do you understand what that whole concept is?
Yes.
TikTok is not the best source.
And do you understand that if everybody was just like, well, I'm not voting at all, that's not a good decision?
Yeah, that's really kind of what people were hoping that you do, because it makes it a lot easier for them to snatch power without you. Yes.
Right now, I actually don't mind people bringing up politics because I need to know if I'm still fucking with you or not.
Right.
Because ordinarily, I feel like you like that's not something because it gets people so worked up, and I get worked up about it and my feelings about it. Not that I just tell it to everybody, but if we're going to engage, we're going to. And now the whole mood might change. I don't know, depending on what you say and how you view things, but I am welcoming it because I can X you out.
Yeah.
Honestly, and yes, that, and then like that's a good way to start rooting people out. And like earlier, like I was saying, like asking about your ex, you can ask about any like woman in popular culture just to see how they talk about them. Because I've noticed there's a lot of people who just will talk crazy about women and they don't realize that it's internalized misogyny that like it's misogyny that they haven't, that they're keeping inside because they don't think that they're a misogynist. And it's like, no, you kind of are. Like if I bring up a woman and you're immediately talking about how she's a slut or how she's not good looking or something, and you can't think of any other merits to that person about, you know, whether or not they make your dick dance, then it's like, oh, this is the kind of person I don't really want to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's really interesting because, well, I also want to say, for the men that listen to the show or who might comment on this if it becomes a clip, you guys should be asking these questions too to women that you're dating.
Ask
ask
the ladies that you're dating.
Like these be the things where it's like sometimes if you have a friend that's telling you about a date and how the person behaved, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're not going to date him anymore. Oh, and you're like, oh no, I'm seeing him tomorrow.
Going.
And it's like, well, wait, does the values line up?
Yeah, because a woman who needs to work on herself will have some of the same answers that we're talking about.
Exactly.
And so if there's a man who's like, do I need to be dating with this woman? You know, can I trust this woman to make good decisions? Is this woman going to do X, Y, or Z? Yeah, ask them a question and just see how they respond. Like, you know, what are the thoughts that go into their response? Like, yeah.
Are there any thoughts that go into?
Are there any thoughts?
Because sometimes, like, especially with talking to younger people, especially our little cousins in their early 20s, sometimes I'm just like, what y'all doing on the date? I actually need to come with my spy gear because you're telling me you're going out somewhere. It's not a Netflix and chill date. You did go somewhere. Y'all just sitting at the table talking to each other. There's no questions. Are y'all sending memes back and forth in TikTok videos? Like, what's happening?
Younger women are frequently so afraid of being rejected that they don't want to express an opinion or even hold on to one too heavily because it's more important to them to be accepted or to be valued by somebody of their preferred gender than it is for them to be like, no, this is what I actually think. And a lot of times they will keep in what they think or they'll just not think about it too much because they would rather get acceptance. And I understand that because that's a part of growing up and maturing is like,
I have to chime in and say older women be doing
I agree.
Same
when
thing.
Older women do it though, like at this, you know, once you get to a certain point, it just shows on you. You know what I mean? Like you see them from a mile away. When they're younger, they don't really know what they're doing.
They still got time to learn.
They do
from mistakes.
But then like an older woman who is just like anything for acceptance has really, I
had an older woman DM me. I get a lot of advice DMs. I'm about to start charging y'all.
I know that's right.
And she was asking me how to get the guy that she's dating to actually take her out on a date. Well, and we're in 20. Yes, exactly. That's what my.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
I had to send her a voice
dating,
note. I had to send her a voice note because I was like, this is one of those things where it's like, are we awake? Like, are you You're not dating. He's coming over or you're going over there and y'all are fucking. Yeah. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that type of relationship if you like that, if that's what you want to do. I've been in those types of situations. But if you actually want to date somebody, The man is taking you out on a date.
If we're both grown-ups
outside,
it shouldn't take me anything more to be like, can you take me on a date? And if I have to say it more than that one time, then we're not dating. And
if I have to say it once,
I shouldn't have to say it
what?
once.
I don't even know how to say it. Can you take me outside one day? Please?
I'm giving the grace that maybe it started as an inside thing and then she wants to turn it to an outside thing. I'm giving her that. That's the thing. If it starts as a we stay inside and you want to turn it to let's go outside, ask one time. Can we go outside? And if he's not like, sure, then guess what? Bye-bye. Go do something else.
I don't know how you can even take that hit. That hurts. Like you actually are like, no.
I am confusion.
Have you guys ever been with someone where you don't want to take them outside? Like you do want to keep it inside. And you're like, I hope this nigga don't ever try to take me out.
Because we're not.
Because we're not.
It's like you are good for one thing and one thing only.
Yes. I don't want to go hang out with you. I don't want to be going places. There are cameras in the club.
Not cameras.
We're not going to.
There's people.
Back in the day, going to the clubs when they would have the ATL pics and you go home, you go look at the website, see your pictures. We will not be in the club together, sir. And you all standing over my shoulder like that man off or that boy off of Hey Arnold with Helga, and he just used to be breathing. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
I do. And she would punch in like that. Yeah, I do.
And he would just be standing there. That's no.
And suddenly your arm get real stiff. And you're just
there was a guy. This was a very long time ago, and we weren't dating, but he thought we were. But it was only like I'll come over there, you can come over here, and you can barely come over here. And the reason why I didn't want to take him outside, it wasn't even nothing was wrong with him. He was so small, like his whole frame. It wasn't even like I've never been the person where it's like you need to be 6'4". But he was just.
But he could have been 5'5", huh?
We were like, it felt like he was my girlfriend.
Yeah,
and I would just be like,
he was just petite.
He was petite, and I was like, I can't do this.
This man told me to stop calling other men petite, and I said, "Who's gonna check me, boo?
If you petite, you petite.
Sometimes you're petite. Sometimes that's the only other word.
I got a homegirl who loves a petite
word.
king, as she calls him. I'm like, all right, Thumbelina.
Listen,
I don't
mind a short king, but if you're also short and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, it ain't for me. Okay. Did you ever have a club phase?
A club phase, yes. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, where'd you used to go?
I used to go anywhere they would let me go. I used to go. Do y'all remember Compound? I
used to work there.
Yeah, I used to go there. I used to go to Cosmo Lava. I used to go to Opera. I used to go to usually in Midtown for sure.
Yeah,
but
I miss my club phase. Like
I kind of do. I like to dance, so I love to go out dancing.
They don't do that anymore in the club, girl. Everybody's just standing.
I know now. Everybody's just
sucking on hookah tips.
Yeah,
that's it. The other day
I'm so glad I got out of the club phase before hookahs showed up.
Wait a minute, my girlfriend had a party the other day, and I just think it's really funny when you catch somebody in mid like.
Yes,
trying to really slurp it up. It's like
deep throat in the hookah.
It was hilarious. I was cracking up. Yeah, but people ain't dancing no more in the club.
Let's see. I want to dance. I would rather do that.
I enjoy dancing on couches. Every time I hear that song by Gucci Mane, I be with all the ballers. I be at all the spots. I might be in your kitchen, nigga, cooking with your pot. Yeah, I love that song. And it's just like, oh, the days that I barely remember because it's a blur.
Oh, yeah, they are a blur. Yeah,
it's a very blurry. I remember I used to wake up and get on Snapchat and like recap my night, makeup smudged and everything, didn't care, just raw. Yeah. I'm glad that's not my life anymore, but I'm so glad to have lived through and survived.
I'm glad I did it too. You go one place, you end up other place. Yeah, I loved it.
And didn't get pregnant by a promoter.
Woo. So many things could have happened, or somebody who got deported or something.
Pour one out for all the ones that fell. Man, that's rough.
Yeah, but I will say there is a new spot out. I don't even want to call it a club, but I guess you could call it a club. It's called El Malo, and it is fun.
I've heard of El Malo,
and people dance.
Okay,
people dance.
That's where I want to go.
It's a club, but it doesn't feel clubby. They have good cocktails, and people are like actually in the middle of the dance floor dancing like the 80s.
I used to go to Loca Luna a lot.
It's new. It's in. It's near. Would that be Grant Park? It's near Grant Park. You know where Muchachos is? The burrito place is in that area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's fun. I would. You know, I don't like going out no more like that.
What kind of dancing?
It's all types of dancing. Some people is lit, and then the one lady was like moving her little hips like she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, that sounds like
people
a good
is
time.
dancing, having dance battles.
Oh, like you got served? I've always wanted to go somewhere where people are actually dancing, whether there's a dance battle or not. Me and my sister have talked about this, and we just want to like dance battle each other, but we've planned this out and just see what happens. And if people join us, because that could be like fun and funny.
That sounds so much fun. I would definitely do that.
We used to go. It wasn't a battle at. Have you ever heard of 255?
What is it?
255.
It's
it burned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's off of Peter Street.
Okay.
Right. This is not a place where you dance.
Yeah.
Crazy in Love.
At all. It's hood niggas. Everybody has a gun.
Hookahs are everywhere and chicken wings. My type of party. Hennessy margaritas. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Chicken wings at the club is crazy.
And maybe a little weed smell if you go on the back patio. Anyway, Medinah and I were there. This is many moons ago. Crazy in Love came on. No battle, but we just started performing.
Yes.
I wish you knew how small it was because we had some audacity to be pushing people out the way.
To make a runway.
Yes, because you know how Beyonce walks down in the white beater and the shorts and she's just like, and that was us. And we were down on the ground and flipping that hair and doing everything. Oh, so much fun.
That's fantastic.
But I want to do it dance battle style and like crunk.
That would be so much fun.
I remember now that you're saying that, I went to Masquerade one time and it was a bunch of like white break dancers just giving it their best ray gun from the Olympics. Just really, did y'all see that lady from the Olympics?
I saw the clips and I thought it was a joke.
No.
So
I did too.
No.
And I was like, this is a real thing? What the fuck is going on?
Where is Simone?
The Olympics, at the end of the day, like you can play by the rules and scam yourself into the Olympics if you really try to. Because somebody did that a couple years ago with the like snowboarding, where they were just going up and down the like little pike, and then like, but they weren't doing any tricks or anything. But then they made it, technically they qualified because they never fell down because they weren't doing anything. They were just doing like this up and down the little
just
thingy.
Doing basic moves.
And she scammed herself all the way into the Olympics, and that's what this young woman did as well.
Well, she made a name for herself.
Good for. I mean, hey, you did it.
Yeah.
I never went to the Olympics, so good for you.
And you were clever to even think about that workaround. Go ahead.
They were doing that at the Masquerade. That place was crazy. I don't know if you ever went there, but that was
not for like a party. It was a concert. I didn't know.
Yeah. They would have like just dance nights or whatever, and you would go in there, and then just like people would bring all their BDSM equipment and start whipping each other, and then you would see somebody over there breakdancing in the corner. It was quite a time. I was like, oh, this is okay.
It definitely looks appropriate for break dancing if you have your tetanus shot, or maybe you need one when you leave, or BDSM stuff for sure.
For sure. Yeah, that's where you go to see it for sure.
Don't mind the smell of mildew.
Yeah.
Coming off the people.
Did you guys ever meet anybody during your club phase and like get in a relationship with them?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, but like we would act like it when we were drunk in the club. But it was like in hindsight, it's like, girl, what the fuck were you doing? And stop kissing people in the goddamn club.
I was always kissing people.
I enjoyed it.
I was real good to flirt with a bouncer or a bartender, so that I would be like, oh, let's go here because so-and-so's working tonight. And I knew I was going to get free drinks, or I knew I was going to get in for free or something like that. I was real good for that. But it was always like a heavy flirtation. I'm not ever going to talk to you outside of this place, but I'll text you before I'm about to come through just to make sure you're working. But like, I left that. That was for, that's the streets stay in the streets.
I forgot. You
can't let the streets come home.
There was that Jamaican man. I loved him. I forgot all about him.
I love you.
Ooh, and every time like things didn't work out. Surprise, surprise, right? And then I run into him again at a club. Again, typical, right? I would just get swarmed back in that little tornado of a Jamaican love affair.
See, I never had anybody like on the hook like that. I really wish I never really had like anybody on the hook like that. I wish I did. I never ran a roster.
It can be really stressful.
I'm sure.
Lots of other women.
Yeah.
And then just always lots of other women. And then you can get easily confused when there's constantly endless bottles of champagne and tequila and Hennessy of all things.
Of all things. Yeah,
what a
don't let
time.
Hennessy get you
That
caught
was
up.
during a time when I also did not have a job, and I just know I need to work forever because I make piss poor decisions at best when I don't have a job because there's too much free time on my hands.
Yeah.
And after that, CockTales was born. So
Listen, idle hands.
Yeah, idle hands. They gonna do something. Now, Brittany, do you have? Wait, what happened with your club relationship? You said you did.
I did. I think.
Okay.
Well, I had one real relationship. I started working at the club after my club days, and then he became my boyfriend. Like we lived together and we were together for ages. But before him, I
got real serious.
They did. I had a situation with a DJ. I won't put my whole everything out there, but I had a few club situations. Fair. They weren't all serious, but it was a nice little connect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was a good time. I know I'm gonna be in the club and I know I'm getting my jerk wings. So it's a requirement. I know I'm gonna be drinking good. My friends will have a seat. Our feet hurt. We stuffed them in these shoes. It's probably too small. And we got these little bitty dresses on. We want to have a good time.
Yeah, yeah. And I will say I never got wrapped up with the disrespectful club people.
Yeah.
Like that's when it's like, oh, what's happening? You see us out here waving this before 11. Like,
don't leave me out here.
Just leaving us out here.
I'll tell you, wherever I am on the spectrum, the autism spectrum has protected me from a lot of things. Like I've been like, I'll get like, I can't handle this anymore. I have to leave immediately. I can't look at this person no more. I gotta go. So I've been protected from some of those situations. But no, I definitely, yeah.
That's funny.
Do you have
I don't miss the club days, but I do think on them fondly.
Me too. Do you have children?
No. I don't want to have children. I have a lot of beautiful nieces and nephews.
Amen to that.
And whenever I'm feeling particularly motherly, I go find one of them. Mm-hmm. And then I just go, oh, off you get. And then I go back home.
Back to your mom.
To my needy ass dog.
What kind of dog do you have?
He's a Maltese Yorkie mix. I got during quarantine. And he was supposed to be a temporary placement.
Oh.
And you fell in love?
No. We gave him away a few times. He was returned. Yeah, he's like, because those dogs, they'll like choose a person, and he chose me before I resigned.
I have a Yorkie, and they are my dog is so clingy that when I leave for the day and she's at home with my boyfriend, she will act like she doesn't need anything. She won't go outside. I can leave at 6 a.m. Yeah. And I'll let her out in the morning. Then when I get home, she's like, and I'm like, have you not been taking care of her? He's like, she won't even get up. She lays in the room depressed when you're gone.
He wouldn't eat when I was working. He wouldn't eat. He would just like sit around and lay there and like not eat, not drink, not
It's
do
really
anything.
interesting. When I leave
really
shy
sad,
with people, when I go out of town, I always let them know she's not going to eat for like the first 3 days.
Yeah.
I would be so nervous. Like, we got to go to the vet. This baby is not eating.
Literally, no, it made me feel so guilty. I was working in the film industry, and then quarantine happened, and then like nobody was working at all. And then I went back, and then at that point I had the dog, and then I was like, well, because it sucks, this film industry, sometimes you'll be out there like 12, 14, 17 hours, depending on what the shoot is on or whatever. And then my dog would just be laying at the house, like not eating. And then I'd be like, I gotta turn around and go back again tomorrow. Like, you have to eat something. Like, you can't do it. So
I have a dog too, but I bring her places. I bring my baby girl pretty much everywhere. I didn't bring her today. It's a lot of cords and expensive equipment. So unless I absolutely have to, I don't bring her in here because she's still a puppy.
Yeah.
Her birthday is coming up, but she's very needy, but we're clingy. And I realize it's both of us. I can't even put it on her.
It's me now. That's the thing it is me now. But originally I was like, yo, somebody get this man about my house. Like I was like, he needs to leave. He's got to find a place. But now I'm like, dang, he really ain't over here. But I try to bring him to a lot of places whenever I can, but just,
Do you ever try to take him to the dog parks to help you meet men?
Yes, I have taken him. I haven't taken him.
Because the men be at the parks.
They be at the parks playing with their dogs.
And let me tell you something. He is boy crazy. My dog is desperate. He's 100% desperate for male attention.
Oh, he needs a daddy.
He be shopping.
My dog has been through so many daddies. Oh my God, this is the last one, I promise.
Listen, honestly, if I were to bring a man into my house and like be in a long-term relationship and then we broke up, I would believe my dog would go with him. I promise you he would.
Really?
My dog loves men. Any man. He will, like, most of the time, he will, like, if I'm trying to get him to come to me and he won't, I'll just be like, all right, bye. And then I'll walk away and then he'll chase me to make sure I didn't leave him. But if a man shows up, gone.
Get that baby a daddy. You owe it to him.
Or a little boyfriend dog, maybe.
No, he wants to be the only one. He wants to be
it's a Yorkie. Do you see how Shy acts when other things come around? She just
wants
starts
to be the baby,
and growling and get away. She wants everybody
he likes to
get
play
away.
with other dogs or whatever, but he likes to play with them knowing that at the end of the day, he's the baby and they're going to go away. And honestly, a word. I get that too.
My girl has still been trying to get herself a man in the building, and she's got her eyes set on some good looking dogs. I see it. They look well groomed, well taken care of, and so do their daddies. And so I'm like, okay, you're learning, because she was looking at slobbery dogs, and I was like, hold on, baby girl, this ain't what we're gonna do. But
you gotta keep it tight.
She also just needs to calm down because she's not fixed quite yet, and I'm too young to be a grandmother.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Indecisive Diane while I think about how my baby better not make me a grandmother. What would it be called? Not a grandsire, but a grand what for the woman? They never even say it on there, huh?
Oh, like when there's a grandmother? Oh, they call it
a grandmare?
No, they call it
grandmama.
It's not Lady Queen. No, Lady Mother. Queen Mother.
The Queen Mother is the
that's
mother.
The Queen Mother.
But that's the Queen Mother.
The mother of the king. Whatever.
Can you guys name all the dragons?
Hell no.
What word do you remember from House of Dragons?
No, Visenya is not a dragon. That's a person.
High Valerian.
High Valerian. I also like to say Dracarys.
Yes. Wait, what's the big dragon? Is it Baelor?
Baelor.
Yeah.
That's the big little mean dragon that Aemon owns with his bitch ass.
I can't stand Aemon's banana
I swear
face
to God, I can't stand that.
It's just like every day he wakes up, presses his hair with God knows what.
And he's still mad because he got stabbed in his eye as a baby. Get over it.
And you deserved it when you were a baby. You had it coming. And then what do you want?
The biggest dragon. Like, you could do so much more with your time.
You could have tried.
And then he tried to punk his sister like that. And you know that girl can see everything.
Now, that's where I got lost. I never realized that was his sister. I was a little confused. How are they
The incest is going to have you confused, but Helena is his sister, and Helena is with the other brother.
Yeah.
That's her husband.
Oh, I think the king is fine. I do think he's cute. I mean, before he got burnt up. But
the king? Wait, Aemon?
Not Aemon.
Aegon.
I think Aegon
know
is
you were
fine. I would have been in there like
Aegon has a blockhead and a bad
Not
wig.
a blockhead?
And I just
he do got a blockhead.
You know who he looks like? Tommy Pickles all grown up.
Tommy Pickles?
Yes, because he has that funny looking head. And I just look at him like, ew. And I'm glad your dick is burnt up. I'm glad your face is burnt up.
I just think he is so fine. I love him.
Ooh.
Who's your favorite character on House of the Dragon?
I hate all them bitches.
My girl.
Rhaenyra.
Yeah, Rhaenyra.
I love Rhaenyra, and I hate.
I ride behind Rhaenyra, but she get on my nerves too because she be making stupid choices. And I'm like, bro,
does she make stupid choices or does she just weigh out her options?
I think she's trying to be a good, proper queen.
And that is why sometimes it's hard for women to lead, because I get where you're annoyed, because sometimes it would be like, Rhaenyra, we at war,
would you do this? Why
Burn
would you do this?
Alicent up.
Yeah.
Burn her
I want
and all the
Alicent
small
gone.
folks.
I
They
want
all gotta
Alicent
go.
out.
They should have bent that motherfucking knee.
Yes.
When it was time.
When it was
And I
time.
still do not trust everybody behind her lowbrow husband. I forget his name.
No.
Damon. Her
yeah.
uncle brother husband.
Damon
I
is-
don't trust all them people who were standing behind her and bent the knee after he said, because you never really have control over them and she needs to watch them. They gonna fuck the whole thing up.
They
them
100%
and them little
will.
cousins that came out the woodworks. That
Ulf is definitely fucking shit.
Yes, I can't stand
He's like, I got a
him.
dragon. Fuck y'all. He don't care about a
Sitting
rule.
at the table talking crazy, talking to her son all crazy. Like, I don't give a fuck if my daddy ain't my real daddy or not.
Oh my God.
This is my mama's house. The
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with you? They really just have me upset. Like they're people. And I just have to calm my nerves because he was acting so fucking ratchet at that table.
Yeah.
And just
Burping and asking for more wine.
and tearing up all the chicken. Like, when they're already sent y'all gift baskets of food and
y'all gotta
nourishment.
go home. I would be like, give me the dragons back.
Give me return your dragon. Leave your dragon keys at the door on the way out.
Because I also feel like because she is the queen, she should be able to command those other dragons that's on her side on Team Black and tell them, burn them motherfuckers.
Now, there's
That
this
ain't
little
right.
blueprint of dragon riders and dragons that was going around, and there actually are. This is a whole
I need to
world. I
look
think
at
it's
that
so
part
crazy
again.
that this
I
is
love
not
that
real, but it is real in my soul.
Yeah.
So there there are certain dragons that can be commanded and rode by other Valyrian people, Targaryens. But I don't think any of those dragons are dragons that Rhaenyra could control. But Rhaenyra...
Oh, because they're wild dragons, right? And that was
not
the thing.
all of them were wild.
Some of them are wild, but is it that the wild ones are the ones that she can't?
I don't know why. I just know some of them can ride, like
now, Rhaenyra
can ride Valor.
Yeah.
Now she wouldn't because she can't get in there, but he would let her ride. It had this whole little map of who can ride who.
I gotta look that up. That's interesting.
You're gonna look that up. I just know y'all need to be on Team Black and fuck Alicent and her dumbass choices. And Aemon and Aegon and Oath, whatever the fuck his name is.
And what's his name from the King's Guard? What is his name? Alicent's little bitch.
Oh, the one that looks like a Spanish Drake.
Sir Crispy Cole.
Kristen.
I can't stand his He's still mad because Rhaenyra told him a long time ago when she was still a little girl, baby, this was a situation. This was really cute, but it didn't. Yeah,
she said this was an inside thing, not an outside thing.
I don't take you outside, baby. His bitch ass, he really do get on my nerves.
Yeah, I blame him for most of all this, actually.
Anyway, so it's fuck a lot of them. I hope that you guys are watching the series. Tell us your theories.
Please. This is what we be sounding like on.
Well, I mean, I guess it is.
This is my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
Before we move on to Indecisive Diane, I want to tell you something that I forgot to say at the beginning when we were doing updates. My bad. Make sure you go to paradiseandvibe.com to book your trip to come to Iceland or Costa Rica or both if you just swimming with it like that. We do have a firm if you need a payment plan. I get it. Make sure you book and register. But also, I am hosting a day retreat September 22nd. That's the day before my birthday. Nice. So you can also register for that at paradiseandvibe.com. It is going to be phenomenal. We have workshops. It's going to be at Old Fourth Ward Park.
Oh, so here.
It'll be in Atlanta. It's a day retreat in Atlanta for you guys who maybe you aren't in a position to travel right now. You don't have the money or you just became a new mom or whatever it is. You're scared to get on a plane. You can experience Paradise and Vibe here in Atlanta, September 22nd. It'll be amazing. So let's move on to Indecisive.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane. And listen up. I'm giving you a date idea so far ahead that you have time to plan it. Ladies, grab your bae. Get your tickets because we're bringing Elizabeth Gilbert for a live studio taping of CockTales. The ladies have never done it before. This is a great date night. The topic will be love addiction, all things relationship, toxic and positive. Click the link in the bio.
Okay, and we are back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for the advice. Remember, if you would like for us to help you in whatever is stressing you out in life, email us, advice@cocktalespod.com. Okay, so this one says, should I just leave this man alone? What?
Yes.
But we'll see what you gotta say.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking it.
I'm sorry.
So we see each other. All right. Hey, ladies, I hope you both are doing well. I've been loving the episodes as always. I have some advice that I need for a situation that started for me a few months ago. A coworker of mine has been flirting with me for some time now, building up the courage to tell me he liked me. I felt like he liked me from the beginning, but I like to be chased, so I let him. Finally, we go out together for the first time to a concert, and we had so much fun. I even got to meet and hang out with some of his cousins, which was a fun time for me. That night we kissed, but didn't do anything more. I really wanted to take it slow with him, just because in the past, during my whole phase, I would just jump straight to sex. I wanted to get to know him more and really see what this could lead to. After we kissed, he expressed how much he liked me, and I did the same, but keeping my boundaries, not wanting a relationship right now. So a few weeks go by. We hang out a few more times, and then I go on vacation, but the communication was still great. While I was on vacation, another coworker, let's call her Janet, heard that we went to said concert and asked him why he didn't invite her anyway. I guess she wanted all three of y'all to go, or she went to go in your place. Okay, anyway. While I was on vacation, another coworker, let's call her Janet, heard that we went to said concert and asked him why we didn't invite her. Anyway, I guess in this interaction, she got his number and started asking him to hang out. He said that he told her how much he liked me, but Janet was fine with them being just friends. Long story short, they fucked, of course. I get back in town. Damn, you come back from your PTO and find out he was dicking somebody down. Okay,
at the job?
Well, this is another coworker. Okay. I am messing with her. Wait a minute. Y'all, this punctuation, I don't mind to link the email, but we got to use some punctuation. Okay. I'm messing with her man. I get back in town and he tells me nothing about this whole situation. I find out almost a month later from another coworker. It's messy where y'all work.
Yeah.
Do y'all work in a call center?
They must work in a restaurant or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe they work
restaurant.
at the airport.
Mm.
Are they like that down at the airport?
They like that down at the airport.
Okay. They be patting down everybody.
And that's a lot of people to have gossipy times with.
Listen.
Okay, so she found out almost a month later from another coworker who was letting me know that Janet does not like me because she thinks I am messing with her man, and I basically hear everything from Janet's point of view on how much they've been hanging out, even getting into fights at the job because the girl is so jealous. Even though we're all single in this situation. All right, y'all? I don't know how I feel. I've told the guy that I don't appreciate him not having my best interest in mind because I am not a fighter. Yes, giving airport TSA. Because I am not a fighter and I definitely don't fight over men. And this girl was ready to risk it all over this man.
Ooh.
When women
Or a
are like
warehouse
that,
job.
I can say I really rarely ever say never do I say never. But in this situation, I have never really felt so compelled to like fight a woman over a man, even if he's doing me wrong. What? You want to square up and punch each other?
Over a man?
Over this ass?
That's not even yours. You said
He's
y'all
doing
all
us
single.
all dirty and you want to fight. You want to shed blood on the morrow?
On the morrow?
Well, she thinks the other girl wants to fight her.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yes.
what?
No,
I would be her if somebody was like, you want to fight? I remember in 7th grade, this girl named Nikisha Brown wanted to fight me because I didn't like her brother, Antonio.
What? That's wild.
It was
so
wild.
nice.
And I was scared. She was ghetto. Section 8. I was terrified. She was ready. She had nothing to lose.
Nothing.
Oh, dear. Okay.
She's like, I was going to fight somebody today anyway. May as well be you. It may as well be you. Why not?
Okay, she says, I am not a fighter and I definitely don't fight over men. And this girl was ready to risk it all over this man. I say all that to say, I know it's not to ask us what the fuck you should do, even though that is
I was
what it
going to
is.
say, if you didn't hear it,
Go to HR and tell.
You need to find another job is what you need to do. You need to start putting out
Period.
resumes because this don't sound like a good place for you to
wild.
work.
It's not going to end well. I say all that to say I don't know who or what to believe when it comes to how this guy really feels about me.
That's what we focused on.
Baby.
I'm not even hurt that he fucked someone else. I'm more upset that he put me in a compromising position to have someone I don't even know like that hate me.
Baby.
Is it that she hates you or is it that she wants to beat your ass? Because those are different to me. I don't know if he was feeding this girl lies or if she really is delusional.
I can answer. You're all delusional. She's feeding all of you lies.
Or a little bit of both. It's no doubt that he likes me.
No. Oh, honey. Oh, honey.
Sweet baby girl.
I would read this over, but it's too much. All right. I think we all heard it.
Baby, I would for no amounts of money. There's not an amount of money that will send me back.
It was a lot of delusion going on.
You can't even process.
You can't trust yourself.
You can't trust yourself.
You don't even have your own best interest.
It's you
at
against
heart.
you.
It is you against you. This is what I was saying before. Like you just aren't ready.
You're not ready.
That's why I am a proponent for you need to just sit out dating for a while.
Let me tell
I've done it and I'll keep doing it until you make better choices. You don't have to participate in this shit when you can't be trusted with your own best interest. You worried about this man.
Yeah.
You're not doing right
You're not
by
protecting
yourself.
you.
You just said he put you in a compromising position. It doesn't matter. You done heard it through the grapevine. at the job that this lady wants to fight your ass and she was ready to risk all. And it doesn't matter what happened to lead up to there. There's no justification. But hold on, she got a few more lines than we've done to tell her more of the same.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, babe.
Okay. I'm more upset that he put me in a compromising position to have someone I don't even know like that hate me. I don't know if he was feeding this girl lies or if she is really delusional or a little bit of both. It's no doubt that he likes me. But part of me can't help but feel like he betrayed me, even though I have my own guys I entertain as well. It just felt like he hit too close to home with our coworker and then keeping something a secret from me that I felt like everyone else knew. I've really developed feelings for this guy, but I don't want to keep putting my time and energy into something that's going to turn around and bite me in the ass. Did it not bite you already? That was the end.
Feels like it already
I archived the email, but she did send a picture of her and him and added a little bit extra to it, but she was like, don't read this on the show.
I don't know what you said, but I'm gonna ask you after.
Yeah, I want to know too. That's crazy.
You did a good job, but really, I don't know. Yeah,
girl. Here's the thing. You're young, you're beautiful. Be free. You already said you have a team. The good thing about when you have a team, especially if this isn't one of the ones that's like helping you out financially, let it go.
You can let this one go.
Yeah, let this one go.
That's the whole point of the roster.
That's the whole point of a roster. Absolutely. Like, let it go. Y'all already work together, and this is a bad decision. Kiki has stories about it. I have stories about it, and we've shared it on the show. It's a bad decision. If you're one of those people where you just got to learn for yourself, know that this is going to end badly, whether you get your ass beat or you get fired or he fucks somebody else, and now y'all are in this weird ratchet love triangle at TSA work.
Or at Amazon.
Or wherever y'all is at.
And we need our goddamn packages, bitch. You over here worried about shit and y'all fighting and stuff. And that's why my lotions be busted sometimes when I get them in the mail, because y'all in there tussling with the boxes and my dog food and everything else.
It simply isn't worth it, friend. For real. And I know you're like, he likes me. He likes everybody else too. And so do you.
Don't like you enough.
Can I just, okay, so the whole purpose of being like, you and I are not technically in a monogamous relationship and you're sleeping with other people and I'm sleeping with other people is for everybody to be honest with each other. So if homie is sleeping with your, cubicle mate or more likely somebody down the TSA, and he's not told you that, then he's lying to everybody. And at that point, that's
and he pillow talking with her about you.
That's plenty of information that you have to get you up out of this situation.
And if you need help getting up out of it, think about all of the worst case scenarios that could happen from this. You could get pregnant by him.
The
other worker could get pregnant by him. Now y'all are both planning baby showers at the same time. You know how much he makes. You know he can't take care of y'all.
Listen, he's not about to have you like one of them Nick Cannon ladies. Like, he ain't finna pay for you like that.
And you'll be goddamn if he fuck around and just quit that job and get another one, the advice we gave you, and he just skedaddles and you have a hard time catching his ass, and he just is like, fuck it, I'm gonna sell drugs because you're not putting me on child support. And then what? Next thing you know, he's in jail, and now you gotta explain this to your child.
Why you chose the daddy that you chose to father these little nigglies.
Tyler Perry needs to call y'all because you already wrote that script nice and tight. I love that. But
call me. We got a few of them.
You need to just leave him alone, friend. You're going to be okay. I've taken some silent L's before. Sometimes when you are single and out here and one of them does get you, you're like, but I do like him. You got to take the silent L when they really do you dirty and disrespectful like this.
Because
take the silent
even
L.
though you like him, I promise you're going to meet another one that you like also.
Yes.
Go to a different department.
There's also
and you
that.
Gotta keep it at work.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Go to the dog park, go for a run.
Absolutely.
Go clear your mind and get him off your mind. He gonna start coming at you really hard when you leave him alone, but don't let him come back. This is dumb.
You can't. It's manipulation. Yeah. And he's manipulating you. He's enjoying manipulating you and all those other young ladies.
And let the young lady know she can have him.
Yeah, you don't have to fight me at all. Like, if you really want to, I mean, I guess you can, but like, I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't gonna resolve any of the behavior he's gonna have because some other girl's gonna get hired in 2 weeks and he's gonna be up in her face the same way he's up in all ours. So
let her have it. And I'm calling the police on you, bitch.
And I'm calling the police on you, and you gotta pay for everything now. And then, oops, I fell down. Now you gotta pay medical bills. So like, what's up? Like, what are we doing?
And you getting fired, so.
So, girl, you're up right now.
Don't do it.
Stay up and leave him.
Stay up.
Have you guys ever had another woman call you and be like, you can have him?
I have definitely had another lady try to like get all in my face because I unfortunately have been in situations where I did not know that there was another lady, or sometimes I did know that there was another lady, didn't stop old homie from trying to make the move, and then I'm like, oh wow, shouldn't have done that because there's a whole lady over here, and then but then now she's up in my face, and I'm always like, yours, all yours. Like, I don't understand, like, anybody who's got that kind of bold spirit, and then this ain't the first time they've cheated, and certainly won't be the last. Why are we fighting?
And when that happens, I always think about the stories that do go very dark, and it's like, wow, this is how everybody's life ended.
Yeah.
Imagine if that's the end of, that's how your story and your chapter ends.
She was some dude for what?
Be up there with God, like, nah, baby, you can't let me go
like
this.
Send me back because I need a redo. I need a redo.
Yes. And that's the story.
That's where ghosts come from. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Anyway, girl, good luck. Please cut this man off. It is not worth it. You just stressed us out, and we just trying to help. And you better listen. I'm tired of y'all not listening in situations like this.
Please listen. If you asking yourself if you should leave him 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes.
It's time to go.
The answer is yes. Break up with him. And he ain't even your man, so just don't talk to him at work.
He's not your man. He's everybody's man. He is.
He's for the streets.
He is for the streets.
He's for the coworkers.
He's for the. He's for the gates.
Line.
He is for whichever terminals.
All right. So if you have a question that you want to ask us, add a little punctuation and email it on over to advice@cocktailspod.com. And now we will move on to the cocktails.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe.
All right, so for the cocktails, you guys know it is a very steamy or funny or embarrassing or wild story. Since we have our guest Brittany Dent with us here today, we're going to have you share a cocktail.
Okay, my cocktail is honestly it's about me taking the L because I have been known to every once in a while hop down on one of the homies. It happens. You know what I mean? This particular gentleman was not living here, so it was a long distance kind of situation. And we were friends, and then he kept coming to town for work. And the whole thing was, you know what? Like, you know how, like, so first of all, I tell you why we fell down. We fell down because we can be dirty on here. Yes, he ate all of my pussy. Like, it was gone. I had to order a new one. He ate it all. Like, it was gone. I didn't have one no more. So I was like, got to get back over there. Like, we need to make sure this is happening. And then he was like, oh man, I love you. I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you this whole time.
Whoa.
But the problem is that we're friends. And I was like, yeah, I could see why that would be a problem. Why? It doesn't make any sense. I know that now. Why would that be a problem? It doesn't seem like it is a real problem. But
we're friends.
We're friends.
You can eat my pussy right.
You do
off the bone.
So then, like, what's going on? And then, so then he would fly back away, go back to being friends, come back in town. There we go again, back into the old patterns. This happened for an embarrassing number of years. It's sad. It is tragic.
It's happened to the best of us.
Listen, of course it has. And it's one of those things too where I was like not getting in other relationships. I'm not really, taking other opportunities that are coming my way romantically because I'm like, at the end of the movie,
we get together.
The best friends get together.
And then we live happily ever after. And that's what happens. So I just have to wait. You know what I mean? Like, I just gotta, no, that's not what happens. At the end of this particular movie, and I would go up. Like, I would make the trips. I would go drive.
Where did he live?
4 hours away? Is that too far? Yes.
Savannah? On a plane?
No,
or in a car?
Driving.
Oh, goddamn, no.
I didn't have no
you
money
owe
like
me
that.
something.
No.
Okay.
I didn't have no money like that.
Did he live in a nice area though, or is it?
No.
Okay. So this movie does get worse. Okay.
The movie's terrible.
The mouth was
This
hidden.
is a Tubi movie.
I'm telling you, he ate it all. Like, it was gone. I just was stupid. But I was like, at the end of the movie, and then it was one of those things too where he'd be like, oh yeah, I am dating somebody right now. So I was like, he's doing the right thing because, like, we live far away and you're being honest with each other and he's dating somebody. He's like, but his
like,
life
it's going on.
He's like, but it's just whatever because, we're never going to be together. because you're not, because we're in love, but you are the friend. You're my friend. So obviously it's, whatever. But we're in love, so it's fine, right? All these things make sense to me. I'm like, yep, sure does.
I bet when men
I don't want nobody to eat my pussy like that ever.
When men catch women in their dumb phase, I know they're like, yes.
Loving it.
I don't got to
Literally
explain
loving
nothing.
it.
I'm coming
Absolutely
this
obsessed.
weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want nobody to eat my pussy like that. Ever,
you shouldn't. There's poison. There's he's poisoning me. I'm just like dumb. I'm like, whatever you say. So the end of this particular movie is when I receive a wedding invitation.
To his wedding?
I know you fucking lying.
This was called The Invitation.
This is the name of the movie. Yeah, it's called The Invitation. And then the way the movie should end is that I go to the wedding and murder everybody. I did not do that. I did not do that. Okay. I left that out. But yeah, that's how it all ended. And then I was just like, okay,
Did you go?
No.
Oh.
I never spoke to him again.
If that ever happened to me, like,
wedding
I would. You want to go to a wedding with me?
Yep.
I sure do. Show you what we brought.
Listen,
I got a gown.
That's
ready.
like when Natasha invited Carrie to her and Big's wedding dinner.
And he let her do that shit. He let Natasha write Carrie Bradshaw's name on that damn invitation, knowing good and fucking well.
But that is how you know.
That's what happened to me
something
too.
Like that happens. That's how you know it's time for me to take a moment away.
Yes.
Delete the apps and reflect. Because the fact that your ass thought that y'all were like, yeah, invite her. She gonna come. Her dumb ass gonna come. What?
That is 100% what I did.
You got to go on a hiatus.
I had to stay away.
Make the post. Hey, everyone, I'm gonna be off of social media for a while.
Yeah, and it had me feeling dumb too, because I was like, man, he never really was my boyfriend this whole time. And he never said that he was. And I was like, oh, I was dumb. I just kept being like, well, yeah, no, but
whole time
we
he
were in
planned
love.
the wedding.
So like, he's not my boyfriend, of course, but we're definitely in love. So it doesn't matter.
I'm so glad you didn't leave with a baby or anything that was just going to tether you to him.
I'm telling you.
In some sense, you walked away unscathed.
The only scathed just was the amount of time I wasted, for sure. But yeah, like it could have been so much worse, for sure. I could have been,
This is a good movie. I need to get my...
That's a good movie.
Because there's a lot of different ways.
But it's okay also because his baby ugly, so it don't matter.
That's why your baby ugly.
My baby ugly, sorry.
So much for joining us. This has been fun.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun. I really enjoyed this.
I enjoyed this too.
Yes, you guys. It was so great.
Let everybody know where they can find you, if you have any shows coming up, all that good stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I am on Instagram at Brittany Does Comedy Now. And I'm also on TikTok at Brittany Does Comedy Now, but I don't post nothing over there, so I don't go over there. I don't go over there. One of my nephews found my TikTok and he's like, hi, Auntie Brittany. And I was like, now I can't post anything. You're too young to hear any of this stuff. I have to block him or something before I post this. And yes, I'm going to be part of the Laughing Skull Lounge Comedy Festival in October this year. So I'm very excited about that.
October what?
October should know
it's okay.
that by
Where
now.
do we get tickets?
You can get tickets on the website laughingskulllounge.com. There's going to be multiple shows all over the city as well as at the club. And it's a bunch of comedians coming in from all over the country. It's going to be a great time.
That sounds
fun. Very excited. I've never gotten into the festival. This is my first year. Very excited.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And then also, like I said, we are on current hiatus. We're about to pick back up probably in September, but my podcast is called Down and Nappy. It's DOWNNNAPPY on Instagram. And you can find us on like Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts and stuff.
Do you guys ever have guests?
We have had guests a few times, usually during our like mini-sodes. So Carlette, her husband Voss, is also a comedian, and he be watching from the kitchen, being like, "I'm not gonna watch this shit," and then just like, looking in the kitchen and being like, "That fucking bitch! I can't believe he did that to her." So every once in a while, we'll have him on, and then we'll quiz him about what he actually knows and what he doesn't, just to see if he paid attention. Yeah. That's funny. And we may have a few more guests coming up in this.
Yeah, well, if you ever want Kiki and I to join on the discussion.
We'd love to. We can just gossip about what happened on the show, whether you watch it or not, and just tell you the story. That's essentially what we do on the show. Is like we're talking about the episodes, about like what we think about it. So it's like it's every episode is a show, or every episode of the podcast is an episode of the show. So
That's fun. Okay, you guys, make sure you check them out. Check the description box for the links of everything that we mentioned today. Sign up on Patreon, patreon.com/CockTales. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. We're at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean Bean.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. Bye. Bye.